Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically right outside of Townsend, Tennessee. I am at the gateway to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Now, during this recent unpleasantness that we've all been experiencing around the world, things have been shut down. The states have been locked down and the national parks have been locked down, but just recently they have reopened the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So very excited to see that open. I think being able to get outside, being able to get fresh air, I think it's very good for people, both physically and mentally. Good for your mental health to be outside in the fresh air, as well as good to get exercise. Of course, you know, it is a large area, so we can practice social distancing, I think, relatively easy. Now today we're going to drive into a section of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park known as Cades Cove. It is an old historic settlement that was abandoned, and it happens to have one of the densest population of black bear in the world. I forget exactly what the ratio is, but per square mile has the most densest population of black bear. So hopefully, I cannot promise you, but hopefully we'll get a glance at a bear or maybe some other type of wildlife. We're gonna head in to Cades Cove in just a few minutes here. So please follow me. See some rock stacking, some very talented rock stacking right there. You see that mountain water. It's very, very clear. You can see almost the bottom there. It's actually fairly deep. See these stones here by the river. Entering Cades Cove. So here is a map of Cades Cove. It is a 11-mile one-way drive around this loop. There's various old buildings along the way, cabins, churches, and hopefully a bunch of wildlife. And as you can see, people are slowing down, kind of a traffic jam. That tends to happen. People want to take a long scenic drive, so there does tend to be a lot of backup on Cades Cove. You can see there's quite a row of cars ahead of us. If there's an excessive amount of cars, sometimes that means that there's actually some wildlife spotted. I've actually wondered, since Cades Cove has been closed for 2 months, I wonder if more bears have been coming out with no people. They have the run of the place, so hopefully we'll see something. So the rules are, you got to stay back 50 yards, or as that sign says, you can be injured or killed. See the creek running over the road there. I think that's called a fjord, right? All right, we're fjording the creek there. Now our first stop is just a short walk to the John Oliver cabin. Of course, no relation to the British political TV host. At least I don't think so. The fireplace there. And a little Harry Potter room under the stairs. Guess you can actually go up the stairs here. Although I don't know what is up here. Huh. Down this little side street, we have the Primitive Baptist Church. Whoops. And here we have the Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church, originally founded in 1827. See, they still have all the pews in here. Here is the pulpit. And up here at the pulpit, appropriately, they have a Bible. Back behind the church, we have a little cemetery. Now here's something I can never remember. I know the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard. One of them is connected to a church and one of them is freestanding, but I can never remember which is which. Is it a cemetery or a graveyard that is connected to a church? And which one is freestanding? It's the grave of Russell Gregory, founder of Gregory's Bald. It said about 1830, not 100% sure, but about 1830 he was murdered by North Carolina rebels. I always find it interesting on the old graves when it actually gives the cause of death. It actually says murdered on his gravestone. What's interesting is even though this area has not been populated for quite some time, there's some relatively modern gravestones back here. This lady here was buried 1995. And this grave is only from 2009. I can imagine, I guess these were just family plots way back. You can see these gravestones back here, very old. You can see that they're weathered away to just thin pieces of stone. Here we come across another church. This is the Cades Cove Methodist Church. There does appear to be an abundance of churches in Cades Cove. Appears that there's actually more churches than houses. Notice there's two doorways to the church. The reason for that is actually that previously men and women would enter on different sides. Men would sit on one side of the church and women would sit on the other. See, they have a pulpit in here, as well as piano. Piano appears to be missing a little bit of the ivory. Still plays pretty good though. Have some hymnals here. Some people have left some letters or declarations of faith. I always just liked that look. I can't read music, but music looks pretty, doesn't it? Back behind the church is another cemetery or graveyard. Of course, whenever you see a grave with a lamb on it, usually indicates that it was a very young child that passed away. Yeah, you can see that traffic jam goes on for miles and miles and miles. Yeah, you'd never think you'd see this many cars out in the middle of the woods. Oh, and look at this. We have one more church. This is the Cades Cove Missionary Baptist Church. Right. I do like the inside of this church. I think this alcove where the pulpit is pretty cool. Got some wildflowers growing in amongst the graves. Now, I've been sitting in traffic here for quite some time. I'm hoping that maybe this is a bear jam. Maybe a bear has clogged up traffic. Yeah, people are definitely stopping for something. Just not sure what. Okay, those folks back there said there is some bears in the field. Let's see if we can find them. Okay, let's see if we can. Oh yeah. You see them back there? There's like a mother bear and like 3 cubs, it looks like. I'd love to get closer, get a better shot of them, but you know, it is a mother bear with cubs. She could probably eat my face off. We don't want that to happen. Oh look, you can see the little baby poked its head up there for a second. Mom looking around, little babies following her. A lot of people stopping, pulling off the side of the road, getting a view of the bears. Oh, and there's some deer running across the field right there. All right, so we found some bear, and I am very relieved. You know, there's been a few times I've come out here where I've not seen a bear, and that is very disappointing. You see, you have to drive at least 30, 45 minutes from any populated area just to get to Cades Cove, and then you got that 11-mile loop that you're going 5-10 miles per hour. So you're putting in a lot of time here when you go out to Cades Cove. So you really want it to count, and you really want to see a bear, and we can check that off the list. Whew. Saw a bear. Saw 4 bears. Now that we're out of the bear jam, things are moving a little bit faster. You can see a little deer right there. Hey there, buddy. What are you doing? Where's your flock? Or your herd? Or what's a group of deer called? I think it's a herd. Now this building here is normally the gift shop and visitor center. Now that still is closed because of the unpleasantness. Fortunately, the bathroom area is open. And as anyone who was around during the government shutdown of the national parks knows, you definitely want to keep the bathrooms open or people will explore other options. Terrible, horrible, deplorable options. The park very busy on its opening weekend here. As you can see from the immense amount of trash. If that can't close, those bears, they're gonna have a feast. Uh-oh, gotta be careful, there's some snakes lurking around. A larger house right there.
Yeah, my shirt.
Oh, it says Rebecca Cable, better known as Aunt Becky. Yes, not the Aunt Becky from Full House. Said this, I guess this was her house, so this is the Aunt Becky has. She bought this house 1887 and lived here till 1940 when she passed away. I still have the wood stove in here. It's an interesting barn back here. You can see how there's like a loft connecting the two sides there. This ancient wagon right there. It's falling apart a little bit. See the grist mill right there, and that wheel isn't turning, but you can see that there is water flowing down from it. You can see this big trough here leads over to the grist mill. So you can take a peek inside. That's interesting. The water runs down to here, pours out that hole, and I guess some of it continues on to the mill to turn that wheel. Look at some of this old farm equipment here. Old wagon back in there. Oh yeah, they even have some bits of pointy equipment left behind. This is a wild hog trap. You actually do see these placed around the Smoky Mountains. The wild hogs actually are an invasive species. I think they brought them over from England so they could hunt them, but they tear up the ground, they rip everything up, just kind of ruin it for everyone. It shows how rapidly the hogs reproduce. I guess for every 2 deer a mama deer has, and for every 2 cubs a mama bear has, hogs have 1 million babies. Looks like we got another backup here. We'll see if we get to see more bears. Okay, there's some sort of dog there. I don't know if that's a coyote, I think? Coyote or a wolf. Hey there! He's got a lot of people watching him. He looks like he may be a little intimidated. Someone out there, if you can identify what kind of animal that is. Is that a coyote? Is that a wolf? No, we do have some species of wolves out here. But, wow. That poor thing looks pretty nervous. Again, I wish I could identify what type of animal that was. Something definitely in the canine family, but I don't know. I saw someone feeding it, which is highly illegal. But oh, it jumped over the fence. I think he's headed home. Uh-oh. Looks like we got another bear jam. Yep, got another bear out there in the field. It's a bigger one. I think that may be a papa bear. Just poking along, being a bear. Not bothering everyone. Just going about his bear business. Looks like he's looking over here at the paparazzi. I think this is our final cabin. This is the Dan Lawson cabin. Guess there'll be a bedroom there. Let's peek up these stairs. What's up here? Oh yeah. So, the sun sets on the Smoky Mountain National Park. Great to see the national park back open, and great to have a chance to visit Cades Cove. Like I said, I get nervous at Cades Cove because it is a huge investment of time. I think we were there about, over the course of this video, I was here for about 4.5 hours. And, you know, I was really nervous. If I didn't get to see a bear, if I was going to spend 4.5 hours plus probably an hour and a half of drive time to get here, but probably more than that, I was going to be very, very sad. But we saw some bears. We saw a total of 4 bears. We saw the canine animal. I wish I could say what it was. I would look it up on my phone right now, but I am very far from having any sort of reception. So let me know, anyone out there can identify that animal. Was it a coyote? Was it a wolf? Was it a fox? What was it? Just I'd love to get some opinions on what that was. So I'm going to continue to document what is reopening around here. You know, if other parts of Tennessee open up, I hope to bring that to you. If you'd like to see other places that I've been, please check the interactive map in the description of this video. It'll show you all the different places I've been, and you can tell me where I need to go next. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month. But until next time, this one's in the bag.